Good morning, all. I wanted to let you know about this book right here. How to Stop Time. One word, diarrhea. Granted, you know, it's a pet peeve of mine. Punctuation, grammar, present, past, current, tense. And then the second one, I'm in chapter, because it's Hackney, near London, 1599. Tom is staying with these people by the road that are selling, you know, plums, cherries, fruit, basically, to make ends meet. Tom jumps back and forth between 1599 and the present time of London. He's talking to Rose right now, which happens to be the older lady, and I think she's 16. Yeah, and her sister is 10. It goes like this. You see, at this point, I didn't know things were going to change. I had no understanding of my condition. It had no name, and I wouldn't have known even if it had. Assumed that it was. I was going to stay looking like this age forever, so he's young. You know, he told the girls or the women he was 18 years old, which you might think would be quite joyful, but no, not really. My condition has already caused the death of my mother. I knew I wouldn't be able to tell Rose or her sister about it without putting them at similar risk. And face then, things changed fast, especially if you were young. Face changed almost like with the seasons. Right there, I knew I wouldn't be able to tell Rose and her sister about it without putting them at risk. And back then, things changed fast, especially if you were young. Phases changed almost with the seasons. The narrator is talking now. You know, the narrator is, you know, talking. But even, I mean, it's like, it makes you wonder. It's like a part of me thinks, what the hell? And then the other part of me thinks, like, you know, going back and forth in time. It's like, well, maybe you're getting your tenses mixed up. You know what I mean? That was my first thought. But now that I'm really thinking about it, it's like, well, it's the narrator talking, it's not the actual person, because it's not in quotes. I got more into this book right here. I got more into it. It's just, I really wanted to get the book on a physical book itself. I'm considering on buying actually a paperback or a hard copy of it. It's very hard for me to read an ebook. Number one, I'm in front of screens all day, as I said before. And number two, I really prefer a physical book in front of me. The Greatest Mistake, or The Great Mistake, by Mary Roberts Reinhardt. It's a good book. It's a good book. Don't get me wrong. I'm having a hard time getting into it, though. I really am. The other book, How to Stop Time, he's going back between 1599 London time and the current time. He actually has the lute. I keep on thinking it's a flute, but it's a lute. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, he has a musical gift with a musical instrument. Rose is always, right now she's, are you going to leave us? Are you going to, you know, because of the fact that, you know, they're going to pay you 12 shillings a week. And he's kind of back and forth between, what am I going to do? In the present time, he's teaching, I think he's teaching history to a bunch of kids that are in basically the 21st century. And it's like, oh my god. Because right now he's on the big time cusp of the 16th century and catapulting back between the 16th century and the 21st century, because the 1599, the 16th century. Going into the 17th century. It's quite a shell shock. It's a good book. The movie I watched last night, it's The Love Letter. Scott Campbell was in it. Jennifer Jason Leigh. She's the one that plays Elizabeth, or Lizzie, as he's aptly nicknamed. Honestly, Scott Campbell, have a mustache. In wartime, yes. Traveling desk, or I want to call it the traveling desk, but it's the love letter. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I would give it a rate of a 4. I really would. I fell asleep. No. Yeah, I fell asleep. I really did. I came to with it at the very end of the movie. It's like, oh, okay. Blue screens. You can tell it's backdated. Like to the late 1900s, like 1980, 1990, and so on. But I mean the 20th century, because there, you've got blue screens on, on cubed monitors. Things you don't have nowadays, that's for sure. And secondly, the the fiance is getting jealous, very jealous, because between a lady back in the Civil War time, I think it was. So like 300 years from then, she's getting very jealous of all of this. She's getting very jealous. So I like that movie. I'm gonna watch it again today. So I'll give you another synopsis of it. Hi everybody. I wanted to let you know that I'm reading this book. Has trigger problems, trigger warning. It's a trigger for me because, in the story, I think it's her sister called Hilda. Well, Hilda was my mother's or grandmother on my mother's side sister, and she passed away. But she talks so affectionately about her, and my mother passed away in 2019. It's hard for me to read anything regarding that sort of thing, wills, anything that kind of resonates. So I'm trying. I teared up when Hilda was bringing Pat into the equation, saying, well, I want to, I wanted to take care of my will. That's one thing that my mother had always wanted prior to her demise. And I kick myself every day that we didn't do anything about that, because it's like, you make damn sure, and not only that, but you go to the bank with everything. You make, you're the caregiver, you're a caregiver to that person that's ill. You make sure everything is signed and documented and witnessed, everything. Well, I have work, I have this, I have that. They're all excuses. Do not. It's more important to get everything solidified and taken care of than anything else. Life will go on. It really will. Take it from me. And yeah, I had to mention this about the great mistake. Oh, Mary Roberts Reinhardt. She's the one that created the book Great Mistake. I'll continue on reading it. I actually found a way to read it the way I can, like this. See? yeah. I found a way. I mean, I got the stand for $1, if you saw that, from the dollar store, duh. Anyway, I wanted to let you know about that, because it's just like, I can't let it just go by, all by itself, and to just to blog about it or write in a thread about it. To me, that's, what's the word? That it's not emotional enough. It has to come from here to go here. You know what I mean? It really does. So I will try. I really will. But again, if anybody has triggers like I'm having right now, because it literally, I'm not bawling yet, but I'm tearing up, and tears are running down my face already. It's like, please, 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 let's move it up a little bit. Let's move our pace a little bit because it's bothering me. So I wanted to let you guys know. Now, the girlfriend experience, I think it's R-rated, or at least it should be R-rated, if not. Oh my god. You know, the thing about it is, maybe I'm wrong, you know, you have no problem, you know, media has no problem showing the female form, right? But you watch, I mean, if you see the male form, it's like, all you see is from the torso, you know, from the head to the torso. That's it. If you're lucky, you would see from the lower thigh down to the feet, but you wouldn't see his stick, you know. But the thing is that what's the problem? The P word? No, it's not the P word. It's just like, what? I mean, well, then again, it's based on what they consider, you know, the ratings for the type of movie or series it is. But anyway, the girlfriend experience, I didn't think I'd like it. I really didn't. Sometimes the acting sucks, just being honest. So I'd give it between a 3 and a 4 right now. I really want to rewatch that probably this weekend. Cinderella on Prime. I'm getting more into of that book, The Great Mistake. It was hard for me to read it yesterday because I was reading about Hilda wanting to put together a will. And the reason why it hit me so hard, thank God it was only 2 pages. My mother told me that my grandmother, sister, her name is Hilda. And it's like, well, I'm very close to my mother. And if you didn't know, you'll know again now. My mother passed away in 2019. It's hard for me to read, watch, be involved with any type of media that involves those certain... There was triggers for me. I got past them, but there was triggers for me. But otherwise, the book is good. I'd give it probably a 3. They're draining all the pools because I wrote notes down. I don't write notes down for anything really. I'll put this in my other thing too. But chapter 6. Oh, I asked a question. Why wouldn't you just replace the locks? Because after the landsman, you know, the land guy that was killed and his pants were missing. I'm sorry, that's not funny. His pants were missing, and you know, you got those strings with you know, the retractable string with the little, not cylinder, but you know, that well, it is a cylinder that retracts with all the keys, right? Well, the pants were missing, obviously the cylinder was missing too. So my question still stands: why wouldn't you replace the locks instead of just adding chains to the doors? Money means nothing to you. I mean, I understand if money meant something to you, but it doesn't. That means you're filthy rich. Yeah, they have money. Oh, P.S. The letters that Tony bit off, not literally, bit off Pat's head when she inquired about it, when they came, and Tony took it away, you know, took it and read it and basically threw it away, or not threw it away, saved it for later on, and other people were reading it, you know, basically the help in the kitchen. Kind of reminds me of, ooh, that's pretty good too. That looks pretty good too. The Essence of Nathan. It just came on the screen. Well, shoot. Yeah. The Essence, this just came on the screen. Yeah, it did. The Essence of Nathan Biddle. The novel is a novelist, David Armstrong observed, is likely to discover the Catcher in the Rye all over again. That's one thing I liked about the Kindle. Seriously, the Kindle. Because all in all, But anyway, where was I? Oh, you little... Really? I'm gonna have to pick all that up. Yeah, she knocked over my bag of, my trail mix. Yeah, she knocked over my bag. So I have half of it on the floor, half of it in the bag. You know, isn't that nice? She's such a sweet little girl. Here. Look at it. Look at it. And then I put on here, oh, by the way, those letters are one movie with Nicolas Cage. Well, anyway, long story short, it reminded me a lot of that movie, that scene where they're all sitting around a table and reading newspapers, talking, and having a good old time. Something Tess with Nicolas Cage. Bessie. Those letters were a Bessie. I think her name is Elizabeth. A lot of nicknames come out of Elizabeth. So then chapter 8, Bessie, she is a bitch. And then I put, oh my god, Tony and Pat, I thought they need to get married. They really do. Tony really needs to divorce that bitch Bessie, or Elizabeth, whatever her name is, and get involved with Patricia, Pat. Chapter 9, I do. I love Amy because she made me laugh hard. In fact, I have it right here. You can't probably see that, can you? No, you can't. Anyway, I love Amy. She made me LOL. Chapter 10, Bessie is a bitch. Tony and Bessie need a divorce. That's all I wrote. Hands down, Bessie and Tony need a divorce. If they even believe in that kind of stuff back then. After all, the book was published in 1940, so I'm thinking, do they believe in divorce? But then again, I don't know when the plot was. I'm assuming the plot wasn't too far off because, Maud lives in a palace. It's like she's rich, very rich, not super rich, rich, like Richie Rich. The main takeaway that I can get from this, a lot of main takeaways I can get from this, is that be thankful. Be very thankful for what you have, for how long you have it. Big time. Big time. Now this movie, Taxi, with Queen Latifah in it and Jimmy Farrell. I think it's Jimmy Farrell. Maybe I'm wrong. But the main reason why I started watching it to begin with was Queen Latifah. That was it. But, oh my god, I am so glad I watched it. I really am. You guys need to check it out. Taxi. Well, good morning, everybody. As I mentioned to you guys that I would be doing... You don't see that, do you? She just took the treat and she was... the joys of motherhood. The joys of motherhood. Well, anyway, the book was published in 1940. And the setting, I'm not even sure when the setting was because the language, the dialect happens to be so much different than what it is now. Well, then get it. You got the last one. You get up there and get it. Give me that pencil. Like what? What are you talking about? Come here. Come here. Right now. Come here. Right here. Right here. Now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Sit. 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 Sit.
Get those shards in your mouth. You're going to be hate. Sorry about that. Just like any 2-year-old going on 3. They gotta... No! Chapter 14. This reminds me of Clue. You know, like the board game Clue? Yeah, it the book reminded me so much of the movie Clue. It really did. And then I also put, there is always something refreshing when anyone lights up a cigarette, a calming. You know, in every scene that you're reading that book, almost every scene that you're reading in the book, they're like, you know, thinking to myself, yeah, I remember back in the day, you know, back in the day when I worked, you know, for a convenience store, and they're like, well, I'm going to go out for my cigarette break. I'm like, damn, well, come out with me. I was like, I don't want to go out there just to do nothing. So I felt bad. So that's another reason why I started, another reason why I started to smoke, you know. And back then I smoked Misty Ultralights or Misty Menthol Ultralights or something like that. And believe me or not, those cigarettes were $2.75 a pack back then. And I'm thinking, and now, the price of them now, they're like, what, almost $10 a pack? I'm like, no, I don't need them. Number one, number two, I don't need them that bad to feel that way. You know, 13, 14, okay, 15. Chapter 15. Still trying to find the killer. I'm trying to read my writing. I have atrocious writing. Chapter 18. Did Bill Sterling do it? Or is that just a ploy? Audrey dug the gun up and put it in Bill's desk. Was it to frame him? Okay. 19. Chapter 19. Audrey believed Bill killed Don. I bought it from Audible. If you want to know who the killer was, read the book or listen to the book. How to Stop Time. Oh my, the book. If you like time travel, seriously, if you like time travel, out of the ordinary things that happen, I do. And that's another reason why I like time traveling books. The How to Stop Time. The one thing I will let you know, I'll just read you a little bit of it. So Tom Hazard has a dangerous secret. He may look like an ordinary 41-year-old, but owing to a rare condition, he's been alive for centuries. Tom has lived history, performed with Shakespeare, exploring the high seas with Captain Cook. I thought it was Captain Hook to begin with. It's like Captain Cook. Anyway, and sharing cocktails with Fitzgerald. Now he just wants an ordinary life. My thoughts are, you're not going to get an ordinary life. Well, anyway, share with you. Seriously, the one thing I wanted to share with you is this. And just as it only takes a moment to die, it only takes a moment to live. You just close your eyes and let every futile fear slip away. And then, in the new state, free from fear, you ask yourself, who am I? If I could live without doubt, what would I do? If I could be kind without the fear of being fucked over, if I could love without fear of being hurt, if I could taste the sweetness of today without thinking of how I will miss this taste tomorrow, if I could not fear the passing of time and the people it will steal, yes, what would I do? Who would I care for? What battle would I fight? Which paths would I step down? What joy would I allow myself? And finally, 2 more thoughts. What internal mysteries would I solve? How, in short, would I live? I love that passage. I really did. But the thing about it is that this book, How to Stop Time, has taught me a few lessons in life. It really has. It really has. One, time is precious. Be thankful for what you have versus what you want or what you have had in the past. Be thankful for your present. I liked the sitcom Nurse Jackie, where Zoe talks about the present, because it's a gift. It really is. Present, the past, present, and future, it is always a gift. The present is always a gift to us. We need to enjoy the current time that we're in. Before I started reading the book, I was thinking to myself, the people that write these books, do they want to know what happens? What if? Because I read another book. Again, the question is, what if? Women on the Edge. So on the very front of it, she gave you her baby, and then she jumped. This is Samantha Bailey's first book, and my thinking is, wow, right? Wow. I mean, seriously. I mean, the very beginning of the book, or the very end of it, in a split second, Morgan Kincaid's life changes forever. She's on her way home from New York when a mother begs her to take her baby and places the infant in Morgan's arms. Before Morgan can stop her, the distraught mother jumps in front of an oncoming train. And I don't know much of the spoilers to begin with, but back and forth, they're going back in between Morgan and some lady named Nicole. And my thinking is that the mother that gave Morgan the baby, was that Nicole? So Nicole right now is a prominent CEO of a company. She got pregnant. Her husband Greg you didn't want a kid anyway. I mean, we were fine and perfectly dandy without one, right? His first physical thought that he's delivered to her is, are you happy? Are you okay with this? That's the only thought. It's like, wow, dude, you are smart for asking that question. You are smart. And it goes on with that. So she continues to, do all that stuff. In the next chapter, she ends up having the baby. And I'm thinking, I really am. I'm predicting that Morgan, the one that took the baby and then the lady jumped in front of the train. I'm thinking that's Nicole. I really am. I really am. It makes you think. It's like, to me, I'm thinking, what would make a lady, what would make a woman give up her kid, commit suicide in front of a New York subway train? What's going on? So, yeah, that's the book that I'm in right now. And it is a page turner. It really is. Oh my God. And I love the writing style. It's plain. It's not plain, but it's not complicated. It's not so dense, and there's a lot of mystery in it. There's a lot of thriller in the book. So yes, please, by all means. Yes. The new Cinderella, Cabello, good. At the very end, I wanted what's her name, J-Lo or Jennifer Lopez, to come out. If you did that, you'd have to spend a lot more money in production, because the other movie that I watched, the other one from 2015, that one I liked it. I liked the new one that came on Prime a lot more than I liked the one from A New Way of Doing Cinderella. Outside of that, I've been watching a lot of Golden Girls. The Book Thief. Shh. I also want to read that book, so it's part of my physical TBR. I mean, not physical TBR. It's a part of my library TBR. I know, how many lists do I need, right? Then also, I was watching it on YouTube not too long ago. The 15 books back in 2018, I think it was. The 15 books that Oprah recommend you to read. So I put all of them on my library TBR.
That movie, the new Cinderella movie, I liked it a lot. It's just that I give the movie probably 4 out of 5 flowers. The very end of it, honestly, I would have been really happy, extra happy, if J-Lo or Jennifer Lopez would have showed up singing her little bit of her song. I mean, she's the one that showed up for Biden's inauguration, so it would have been really cool. Aside from that, it's a new version of a very cool version of the movie. I honestly think they could have put somebody other than white, Prince, any guy other than a white guy for that. But anyway, yeah, for the most part of it was good. I liked a lot of the upbeat songs from the 80s, 90s, today. The only thing I could think of really is that they were missing was Jennifer Lopez at the very end of it singing Let's Get Loud.
This book, Woman on the Edge, Nicole's husband, Greg, is a piece of shit. I mean, for one thing, women are going to change. Women are going to change when they have a baby. I swear, any man that leaves his wife, piece of shit, after having a baby, yeah, I will say this about that. Man the fuck up, period. If you didn't want to have a fucking baby, put a fucking condom on. I digress. He's a piece of shit, period. Nicole is better off without him. But, she still needs some kind of, support system. I mean, she just had a fucking baby. She's on maternity leave. She's the CEO of Breathe, a magazine, I believe. And, of course, her husband's saying, oh, you're paranoid, you're this, you're that, you're emotional, you're going up and down. It's like, bitch, man the fuck up, grow a couple, grow a pair of balls, and support me like you're supposed to. And she sees a red hair on his lapel when he's like, well, she's like, where are you going? I'm leaving you because I'm not leaving you yet, but I'm leaving. I can't take more of this, any more of this shit. It's like, dude, I just had a fucking baby. Pardon me if I'm not my normal self. Pardon me if I'm not that bright cheerleader that you fucking married. And pardon me if I'm not the fucking CEO that has everything under control. Pardon me for having your fucking baby and you didn't even wear a fucking condom. Pardon me. Go with your bitch ass girlfriend, your assistant, and go fuck her. Make sure you put a fucking condom on this time. I want to hit him so bad. I really want to hit him so bad. And not only that, but the previous night, or the previous, probably the same night. Anyway, Morgan wakes up to a phone call from no other than the attorney for Nicole Markham. And it's like, well, did you're the executor of her will, you stand to inherit a lot of money and all the rights of her company. And in the meantime, it's like, what are you talking about? I don't even know the woman. So, Morgan, you don't know Miss Markham? No, I don't know the bitch. Odd that she would put you in her will and entrust you to her daughter. Well, she kind of threw her daughter into my hands and say, please take care of my daughter. Life must have gone very fucking badly for her to do all this shit, don't you think? Morgan didn't say anything like that to the attorney on the phone. It's like, and then the attorney's like, well, I gotta figure some shit out. No shit, both of us have to figure some shit out. And not only that, but now she gets fucking fired from her job. It's like, really? Wonderful. I'm fucking fired from my job. Well, you haven't been the same since your husband died. You're right. I haven't. But why are you fucking firing me because of the fact of that? Well, I can't trust you. You're missing deadlines. Da da da. Fine, whatever. Why fight for something? I love my job. I mean, it gets me away from my reverie and it gets me into something else. Well, I can't trust you. I can't depend on you. Fine. Have a good day. Now she's on her way to her the late Nicole's brother to find out what's, if she can make sense of this. So honestly, yeah, this book, Woman on the Edge by Samantha Bailey. Thank you. Thank you.
The book, The Winner. You heard me right. The Winner. Get the book. There's so many twists, turns, plot. Oh my god, you do not see it coming. I mean, Mr. Baldacci, you have me as your newest reader for your material. You do not disappoint. You do not disappoint. I mean, a lot of times when I was reading the book, I was literally, you need to really make this into a movie. Seriously. With all the characters, Luann Tyler, Catherine Savage, same person. Charles, or Charlie, the guy that's helping her and being the Uncle Charlie to her daughter Lisa. Mr. Jackson, also known as Peter Kramer back in the day. He took on a new identity. He's a talented Mr. Ripley. And, not to mention Matthew Riggs. Forget what his whole name was. Daniel something or other. But anyhow, he's on his protection because he kind of sent a lot of bad people to prison. But as far from what I can see, he is damn good looking. Who wouldn't want to have something with him? Dang. Anyways, honestly, I would get, if I can, well, I'll give it 10 flowers. Yeah, I will. Read the book. Ta-ta for now. See you next month. Bye.